Then we're gonna keep an eye on the comments, to see if everybody can see us. And once this is going, I'll go back to our Zoom screen.
Okay.
Hello.
You are live.
We're live.
Then we're gonna keep an eye on the comments, so everybody can see us.
You're live on YouTube.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hi.
Then I'll go back to our Zoom
Hey
screen.
guys.
Hello.
Hello.
You are live.
Then we're gonna keep an eye on the comments.
Hey, hold on. I gotta see some feedback on it.
You're live on YouTube.
Yeah, everyone else mute your mics.
Hi. Hey guys.
Thanks, Paul.
And you know, Katie and Luke, your volume, you need to either get an earpiece or lower your volume on your computer because we're hearing the background from the YouTube screen.
Yeah, that's why it's important to have these. They really make a big difference for the feedback.
Anyone who's watching, hold on 1 second. We're sorting out all the
All of our technicalities.
technical difficulties. I'm sorry. Luckily, Paul Neeson is walking us through this whole thing.
Should I get the other ear of this?
Yeah. Can you guys hear us now? Better?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank goodness.
We're gonna have to stay really connected, it looks like. I got tangled up.
All right, Bob.
Okay. Is everyone who's on the Zoom call, do you have your audio muted? Because I'm hearing our feed from YouTube through it somehow. Let's see.
Ours is muted except for this moment.
Okay, great.
Yeah, everyone's muted.
Sorry, just 1 second. I gotta figure out where a little. There it is. Okay. I had a weird echo of myself in my head. That was freaky. Hello, welcome, welcome to the Ways 5-year anniversary reunion party with all of these wonderful people from the film and all of you guys watching. We're so glad you all joined us and that you handled our little figuring out Zoom thing in the beginning. But we have Paul Neeson, who's the Zoom expert, helping us here in case we have any weird technical problems. But basically what we're going to do today is catch up with a bunch of people from the movie, and we are going to hear what they've been up to and what they see happening in this movement, and then do a ton of giveaways and give away a lot of stuff that's really fun. So thank you guys for joining us. And you can say in the comments on YouTube, tell us if you can hear us all right, and also where you're watching from real quick, and we'll just check that out. Do you want an ear? Or you don't need.
So you know, Kate and Luke and everyone, the chat on the side of the Zoom is not the same as the chat on YouTube. So if you want to say anything,
I've got my
to your
eye
guest-
on the YouTube one too.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
want to say anything to your guests, that's where you would do it.
Sorry,
Perfect.
viewers. This is the first time we've hosted it.
We're total noobs.
So-
Okay, I see Amy from Towe Sisters, Amy Beck, Julie Cross. Hi guys. Hi Stephanie and Gideon's Call and Josie. Awesome. It sounds like everybody's here. Shalom from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Jackie.
Debbie is in the waiting room.
Arthur Bailey, I see you in there too. Cool. Hi Blaze.
Okay, Debbie should be in now. All right, there we go.
All right, so
Okay.
we're gonna get it started with our update, I guess. And yeah, so Luke, you can go for it whenever
Oh
you
my
want.
gosh. Okay. All right, man.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
I forgot one more thing.
Yeah.
In the description of the YouTube video, for everybody who's watching, there are all the links to enter the giveaways. So you can click those at any time and make sure you're just entered into everything, because we added some new awesome things just this morning. So make sure you're entered, and then in between the people sharing, we'll pick winners. That's it.
Yeah, she has some kind of auto pick software, so no prejudice. Let's see. Now,
Do you want everyone
Is
on the
this
screen
all-
or just us? Or just
Looks
whoever's
like it's-
speaking, I guess.
yeah, I guess it's whoever's speaking.
Okay. Now we're on speaker view. I'm seeing
But-
Paul. I don't know.
I
But
see Paul too, but
here.
I guess
There
that's
we go.
okay.
All right.
Maybe gallery view is better, just until we sort that out.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
so
the gallery.
everyone who's here, we asked them 2 questions. What what's happened over the last 5 years since The Way came out, just in their lives and their ministries, and then what do they see for the next 5 years of the movement? We wanted to keep it very short, so we just did those 2 questions, although I have so many more for them. So we'll start, and I won't take long. I'll just tell you guys what we did the last 5 years, which is really weird to think about, and I can't believe it's been that long. But, okay, as soon as The Way came out, it was insane, like, so much stuff going on at that time. But we had recently got married, I guess, 2 years before or something like that, 1.5 years before. And we never went on a honeymoon. So we went on a honeymoon that we had to kind of like postpone for 1.5 years, which I guess made, oh, Paul says, go out of gallery view. Sorry.
Yeah, whoever's speaking will be on the main screen on YouTube if you stay out of gallery, but otherwise it'll be.
Is that working? Are we on the main screen now? I just switched to the speaker.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good.
All right, we'll see if it ends up working or not. But, what was I saying?
Oh, the honeymoon.
Honeymoon, we went on honeymoon, then we moved to Ohio from LA. We were in Santa Monica before that. And then we moved to Ohio where I grew up. And we built a tiny house because Katie really was into tiny houses. And
I was watching too much HGTV, I think.
Yeah, and that took way longer than I thought it would take.
We thought 3-4 months max, and then
it took a long time.
It takes a long time to build a house.
It's working. We're living in the tiny house. So
off the grid, yep.
Yeah. And then we had a kid named Max. He was 3 years old now. And then as she was about to give birth, we like started work on this next documentary, The Christmas Question with 119.
Mm-hmm.
And then that came out in 2019, like December. Man, then I wrote a fiction book called Pinot Noir, which is about World War II fiction, but totally off topic there. And then shortly after that, we had another kid named Sam. He's 6 months old now. And now we're getting close to where we are today. I was praying all about, does God want us to do another kind of thing or not? And I feel like, I thought then he was saying, I want you to write this like book, kind of like a very short, Strunk and White edited version of, I guess, Torah apologetics, just for myself, if nothing else. And I just thought that had been done too much, so I put it off and I moved on with other projects. But then recently I was building a fence like 5 weeks ago, and I have all these apple trees because we're planting an orchard where the tiny house is, and I was ramming all these metal rods into the ground like to build a deer fence to keep the deer from eating all the leaves off the trees, which is what was happening. And I have no idea how I did this. I could not do it again. But I have one of these heavy metal like T-post drivers. So I'm ramming this in. Jason knows all about this. And I came off of the stake without realizing as I was looking down and rammed the post into my hand, like right here. It's hard to see, but it's still healing up. And anyway, the reason I'm telling this story is because I had to go to the hospital. I had to do surgery and everything. I cut my tendon and it's coming back to normal now. But when I was laying there and they are gonna have to put me under for the surgery, I was just doing a lot of introspection and thinking, what would I want to do? Like, let's say I died from the drugs. Not that would happen, but if I died, what would I want to have accomplished? What would I be sad that I didn't accomplish? And I thought for Sam and Max, I want them to have like a book of Torah apologetics so that they can defend their faith. And I realized that I had put that off and I ignored that. And I felt kind of the Ruach telling me, you got to do this. So that's what I'm working on. And so that's what we see in the near future. But that's it. Now we should move on to Steve and Angie.
Oh, but first we're going to do a quick giveaway. Okay, so everybody take a look in the description where it says win a bundle. So the first thing we're giving away is a copy of The Way, a copy of The Way Extended Edition, and a copy of The Christmas Question. And I'm looking at all the entries here, and I'm about to pick a winner. Okay. I have all these random like name pickers online that are just gonna like generate a winner for us here. Here we go. All right. The winner of this bundle is Charles Van, I hope I'm going to say this part of your last name right, Luyen? Charles Van Luyen?
L-U-Y-N.
L-U-Y-N. All right, so Charles, you win the bundle. We're going to send you an email with the information, or so that we can get your mailing address, and we will send that out to you. So congratulations. And now if Steve and Angela can turn on their audio, you guys can go ahead and share what you've been up to.
Hey, it's
so
excited
good.
to be here. You know, it's so funny. You're telling your story about how things have changed. Like, we've been looking over this last few minutes and going, what's been going on? I laughed last 5 years and going, what's not been happening? We were in Costa Rica for when we did the recording, and now we are in Northwest Arkansas. And at the time of that recording, we had just left 119 Ministries, and we had just started Towe Family. And Towe Family has just been constantly growing, you know, thankfully. It's so funny. I was at a conference not long ago and people thought I was still at 119. I go, no, we're at Towe Family. They go, you're kidding me. They didn't know. You know? So yeah, and but we're at Northwest Arkansas now, and we are really thankful to be here. People are moving here like crazy. And we now have a Towe Family Fellowship that we do. It's not really a church, we're just a great big Bible study, and we come together, we eat.
Yeah, twice a month.
Yeah, twice a month. Yeah, and that's not every Shabbat, but it's twice a month. And then we have songs, we sing, we dance, and we have a great big Bible study is what it is. And it's funny because the first Shabbat of the month we'll have 150, 160, maybe 170. Then the latter Shabbat of the month is our bigger one. We'll have around 240, even more sometimes. And so it's like the Father is doing something up here, and we're thankful to be a part of it. And as far as, you know, what we see happening with the movement, if you will, I hate calling it a movement. I think it's just the Father moving. I don't want to say a movement. That's just me. But, you know, eyes are being opened, and we want to do our part no matter what is needed. That's our goal. And where it's going to keep growing, and it's going to keep growing. And we all have to be doing our part, like you said, Luke, you know, you're going to write your book for your children. I think we all need to be doing something of that nature, and not just for our children, but for the legacy that we want to leave behind. And we all see things happening in the world. Yes, things are getting crazy. I think all the more why we need to be solidifying ourselves in the faith. She said to me beforehand, you always do all the talking. What am I going to say?
He's the talker. No, yeah, so Northwest Arkansas is our home now. You know, we've been here for 4 years, and involved in the community with our BMX events that Steve and Levi like to do.
And Nadia's doing that too.
And Nadia, yeah, she's dabbles in it, I should say. What has happened though since we've been? Our son, Levi, in the year and a half ago was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So we have, you know, we've been on a
journey
for sure. Yeah, with that development, it's, yeah.
But it's been good.
Yeah, it's all, yeah. So I guess those are new things that's developed.
Yeah.
You know.
We're thankful, that's for sure. The Father's moving, and we're thankful to be a part of it. And our goal is just always do what He's telling us to do, as is everybody else. That's it.
Unmute us. Thank you guys so much for updating us. We had such a fun time getting to go to Costa Rica and like go to your house, and you welcomed us in, and we got to meet some people from your Shabbat, and it was just so wonderful. Like, it was just amazing getting to meet you guys, and you're so nice. It's so great. And so people should, they can get your link to Towe Family in the description too. We've also linked everybody in the cast and where everyone can find them and stuff. So everybody check them out. And now we're gonna do another giveaway. Okay, so we're gonna give away throughout this 5 copies of the extended editions. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the first one of those now. Let's see. Bear with me just for 1 minute here.
Just take a screenshot.
Okay, this is a different one though.
Oh,
Okay. All right, the winner of this first extended edition is Dan Lanyon. Dan Lanyon. This is gonna be like a crazy exercise of me just like butchering everyone's name, but Dan Lanyon, you were the winner of the first extended edition, and we're gonna email you to get your mailing address and get it right out to you. So congratulations. All right, next up is Paul Neeson, and Paul is going to share what he's been up to. And I remember we got to meet him in LA, and we went to this awesome raw vegan restaurant where I ate these mushrooms that like changed my life. It was so cool. And we heard Paul talk about
not that kind of mushroom.
Oh, not like that. I didn't have some sort of psychological experience.
It was like it tasted like steak.
Yeah, it was so meaty. It was like General Tso's mushroom or something. It was crunchy. It was so good. And then Paul, of course, gave some amazing like health information. But yeah, go ahead and jump on, Paul.
Well, thank you for having me here, and just thank you for what you've been doing, and everybody here for getting the word out. And so many people still reference that they've seen all of your teachers, and it's just a wonderful documentary. I'm so glad it's done, and it's great. So for me, my life is in a completely different place than it was. I'm traveling a lot less now, and I have more of an online presence. We have a Friday night ministry where we meet a bunch of people from all over the world. And the person that co-hosts with me, he actually met me through the Way documentary, Brother Tom. So it was really cool that he saw me there, and then he joined the ministry, and he's been partnering with me on that. So that's been really helpful to people that don't have local fellowship, is to do that online. So that's been a blessing. And for the ministry, what we've been teaching goes right along with what's been happening in my personal life. And we all have a script on what we want to happen in our lives and everything else. As many of you know, I have two young daughters, and they're just beautiful, and everything's good and healthy. And I'm still teaching people about health and healing. And now more than ever, people are contacting me because there's so many people suffering. But at the time when I met you, which was 5 years ago, I was on the brink of getting a divorce. And I don't know if we mentioned it at the time, but I was literally a couple of days away from going to court and getting that done. And it wasn't a pleasant experience in my life. But after a 5-year wait, I last Sunday, 1 week ago, I had gotten married to a totally answered prayer. Yahweh sent me just really answered prayer, if anyone knows this story. So it's just been really a blessing. And she's on the side chat here tonight or today. So that's been a real big blessing. And it's just great all around. That's Sister Laura. She's quintessential modesty on the side there, all the way from around the world, from Australia. And she had seen some of my teachings and online. So that's great. So that's on a personal level. Things couldn't be better in my life right now. My children are doing great. I'm doing great. And I also have a fruit orchard here now. I have over 100 fruit trees of exotic different fruits. I teach people how to grow and graft different fruits and so on. So that's been really nice. And then, ministry wise, we do a daily Bible reading. I started doing it actually when I got divorced 5 years ago, doing a chapter a day. We took a break off to do a yearly Suffer Well devotional series, which every day we did a live teaching. And now we're up, we got about 5 more books left, and then we're done with the whole Bible of doing a live chapter every single day of the Bible. So that's really been a blessing to a lot of people. And just the people I've made friends with through the internet over the years have become wonderful friends of mine. And many of you know the people. I know my good brother, Jacob James, who I met online. He's good friends with Arthur Bailey. And there's so many people connected, but just it really is a family. It's not just, in some fellowships, people see each other when they're fellowshipping for that day and they leave. But just online, just really meeting the family and gotten to meet people at Sukkot year after year and then speaking to them on a daily basis. It's just been a blessing. And I just appreciate all of you here for just enhancing the ministry of, just getting the word out about Yeshua and keeping it ultimately about Yeshua. And it's just a wonderful thing. So for my ministry right now, I focus a lot about relationships, because when people found that I got a divorce. A lot of people are in a similar situation with broken relationships. So that's the majority of many things I'm teaching now is about just relationships and helping people work out their relationship or, you know, or deal with what they're going through. And where I see this movement happening in the future is there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things happening out there, but Yahweh will always prevail over the enemy. And I think it's not a popularity contest, but it's a righteousness way. And I think people are looking. And one thing I tell people is Yahweh opens our eyes, because so many of you say, you know, I've read it so often, but we hadn't seen it yet because Yahweh had not opened our eyes. I remember when I interviewed Steve a long time ago, that's what he told me. I said, why did you miss it? He said, Yahweh just had not opened my eyes. Well, Yahweh's opening eyes, and it's a wonderful thing. And he's using UK and Luke and everyone here. So thank you all for your service and your prayers, and keep up the great work, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, so much. That is so awesome to hear you've been up to. And also congratulations again. And man, that's amazing. And so now we're going to give away another extended edition, which has Paul's full interview, as well as like lots of other people who are here now. So I'm going to do one more giveaway real quick. And hopefully this like time I say the person's name in a more normal manner. Let's see here. We need like a drum roll sort of situation. Let's see.
If we were better at this, we could do like a drum roll or something. I'm sorry.
Just kind of
I feel
insert
like-
that yourself. Okay.
I do feel like an old man because I can't do this. Okay.
All right, you say the name this time so I don't have to butcher it every time.
Matthew Wykes.
Matthew Wykes, you've won the next extended edition. So again, we'll email you and get your mailing address and send that out to you. Congratulations.
I probably said it wrong too.
All
I'm gonna
right.
take a screenshot.
Yeah, we're going to screenshot too so we don't forget who's won. Miguel and Michelle, you guys are next. And I just want to intro you by saying that when we first started filming this, we went down to San Diego and we met this awesome couple. They were so cool. And then they let us like in their home on Shabbat, and they were like teaching me how to braid challah. We were watching them like get ready for Shabbat with their kids. And it just like getting to spend that time with their family and filming it, I felt like added so much warmth and like flesh to the film to show like this is what it's like to live like this. And so I just thought it was so cool that you and your whole group welcomed us in like that. So yeah, you guys can unmute and tell us what you've been up to.
Can you guys hear me all right? Yeah, just making sure. Me and Michelle are sharing like one microphone. We're echad with this one USB set that we never use. So it's so good to hear from you guys. We appreciate the invitation. I love seeing a lot of the familiar faces. I don't know if many of you recognize me because I wasn't allowed to grow a beard 5 years ago. And now I am. And that's a fun part of life. But a lot has changed for us. In 2018, I retired from the Navy when I was stationed down in San Diego. I woke up about 9 months before retirement. We had visited Texas, and I was like, I'm going to Texas, and I don't know if the military is going to get me stationed there, or I'm just going to retire and then just do it all on our own. But I woke up and I was like, we're going to Texas. And I dropped my retirement papers and moved here as fast as we possibly could. I mean, literally had a retirement ceremony on a Friday, family and friends over that weekend, and the moving truck showed up the following Tuesday, and we were in Texas that next Thursday. So it truly has been a blessing. We didn't know anybody here. We didn't have a fellowship to come to. We don't have family. We didn't have friends. But right now we have all of those things. So the Lord went before us. He prepared a way. I got a great job. We are part of a fellowship here called Revive House of Messiah in Boerne, Texas. So if there's anybody watching and you're in the greater San Antonio area, we have a home for you here. That church started about 2 years ago. We just happened to be going to a Messianic congregation at the time because that's what we found, hoping to make some friends and some fellowship. And one day, Rabbi Roy Garcia introduced somebody and was like, hey, there's somebody that's going to be starting a church up in Boerne, which is about 30 minutes north of here. And what I really liked about, was it Tree of Life? No, what's the name of it?
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. the name of the congregation, was that during the 6 months that we were attending there, anytime that somebody started a church, they actually sponsored it and told people like, hey, there's going to be another church, there's another fellowship starting down the south. This is very different from what we're used to for a lot of Messianic Jewish congregations. And so when he introduced this man named Jeremy Holst, he was like, yeah, come on out tomorrow morning. He's like, it'll be our first service. Well, we've been going there every day since. I'm one of the elders there. I'm in charge of the Torah teaching schedules, and I teach the main sermon about once every 4 to 6 weeks or so. So, but we've really grown. I mean, that church went from about 30 people to about 150. We're probably outnumbered by children 3 to 1. So it's a great place to bring your family, to bring your kids. All of our kids, it's what they love to do, is that they have a place that they can go to with like-minded believers who love Yeshua, want to keep the commands of God, and they have other kids that are raised up in the very same exact way. So we love it. We live in Helotes, Texas, and we travel up to Bernie, which is about a 30-minute drive every week. Sometimes much more often than every week, because that's where all of our friends are, and we seem to go there. We'll be meeting most of the leadership today just to hang out. We kidnapped a couple of their kids. They stayed the night, and we're going to go give them back today. So we've really been blessed here in Texas. And where do we see this going? Well, we really see more and more people learning and understanding the Hebraic roots of their faith. I think they're gathering, they're finding other people, and then when those places get too big, I think they realize sometimes it's too big to sustain, and then it branches off, and then another tree gets planted somewhere, and then another fellowship grows. And I think that's you still have that grassroots movement, Luke, that you've captured 5 years ago, and people are still finding places to fellowship, loving God, and just wanting to do things and doing Bible things in Bible ways.
That's awesome. I'm
And
plugging this
Michelle doesn't want to talk. So.
Well, I don't want to talk either. I let Katie do most.
It's so good to see you guys. Oh man.
No.
Come to Texas and hang out.
Yeah, I think we haven't seen you guys since the Christmas documentary came out. I think we called you guys that night. It was snowing. I think you were like
oh yeah,
like you were trying to upload a copy of it that night, and you were frantic about it. It was like 2 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that. You guys were
like,
so calm and relaxed out there.
You were just sitting out on our back deck having a glass of wine.
I know.
Yeah.
It looked so calming. We were like freaking out, but yeah, but it all came together somehow. Thank you guys so much for sharing and for like letting us know what you're up to. And I hope some people in the chat, maybe who are in Texas in your area, come and Shabbat with you guys sometime. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
I also
great.
just wanted to say hi. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we have, if you are in the greater San Antonio area, like I said, our Sukkot registration, if you needed a place for Sukkot, we've got over 150 people registered up in Deer Creek Camp in Medina. It's our second year doing it there. It's a fantastic time. We've met the staff there. They're fully supportive of what we believe in. They're believers as well. And hopefully this will be a great ministry tool for them in forming a relationship for years to come. So I know a lot of people, they're studying, they're looking at their Bible, and they're like, I don't know how I'm going to do Sukkot. Well, if you're in Texas, you want to do Sukkot, just Google Revive House of Messiah. You'll find us there. You'll find the registration. The registration covers your lodging, all of your food, and it's pretty affordable in my personal opinion. Again, in our church, it's nobody takes a salary, right? Nobody gets paid. It's 100% volunteer. So really, the money that we pay for registration is just to get the place, and just to pay for food. So we look forward to it. We've already had a lot of people who we don't know that are registering. We're really excited for it. So, we have 3 partial RV spots left, Luke and Katie. So, I mean, if you guys want to roll that tiny home up, let us know. I'll save you guys a spot.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Thank you. And if you guys later on send me the link to your congregation down there, I'll add it next to your name so people can find where you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and look, You should say hi to Steve from the YouTube
Oh
chat.
yeah, Steve Maltz, one of the gentlemen that we interviewed for the documentary, is on the YouTube chat. So hi there, Steve. It was great to talk to you
He
over
wrote
there
a great book called How the Church Lost Its Way.
I
Is
believe
that correct?
so.
Okay.
I
Steve,
believe
tell us
so.
in the chat if that's correct.
Multiple books though.
Yeah,
This is
that
one
was
of
the
them.
one that was particularly spot on for this film and ended up being just really helpful information for us. So we are going to do another quick giveaway. This one is actually not an item from somebody who's in the way, but a friend of mine whom I've met since then named Amy, who runs Torah Sisters Magazine, which is awesome. She has all kinds of cool stuff on her site for like women, especially in Torah. And this is a Torah portions coloring book, which like if you love to color like I do, it's these beautiful like scriptures with beautiful floral things around them, and you can like color them, adults or kids or whatever. So there's a link to that down in the description. You can go ahead and make sure you're signed up for that giveaway, and then I'm going to pick a winner. And then up next,
James just joined. I'm just admitting James.
okay.
Okay. Good.
Let's have Arthur Bailey, Mr. Bailey, Dr. Bailey. You can just get ready up next. I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner for this coloring book real quick.
Oh, I'm muted for the sneeze.
Luke just had an enormous sneeze. Okay. I'm just trying.
As she's looking, I'm just gonna say, man, I wish it would be so nice if all of us were just in one actual location. It would be great to see everyone again, but I know that's impossible. Just everyone's all around the world. But thank you everyone for joining and taking the time to do this. It's good to see everybody.
Yes. Okay, wait, I'm having a slight issue. Let's go on to Arthur Bailey, and then I'm going to do the coloring book giveaway after he is all done, letting us know what he's been up to. And yeah, so are you there? You ready?
I'm ready. Can you hear me? Good, good. Well, first of all, I want to thank both of you all for doing this. Your work has really been impactful in many people's lives. Several people have told us that they found our ministry through the Way video. And so that's certainly a wonderful, wonderful tool that you all created. Since our interview, a lot has happened. And part of our focus, because as you know, I pastored in several different Christian denominations. And when I came into the Messianic Hebrew roots of the faith, I was pretty much lost in the sense of looking for guidance, looking for direction. And it wasn't a lot out there for people to glean from that was really focused on the Hebrew roots of the faith. And so since then, we have started the kind of training, because looking ahead, speaking to what I see in 5 years, at this point, I see people's eyes opening to the truth. I see people looking. I see that many people are falling into a lot of the traps that are out there, which is one of the reasons why I made available how to avoid the religious traps as a giveaway. And so we have been operating out of Charlotte, North Carolina, House of Israel Ministries in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have our Sabbath service, which we broadcast live, and our Thursdays Searching the Scripture. And we've been developing a lot of material for that very purpose, to make sure that people had access to Hebrew roots material that weren't tainted by much of the religion. We've published over 55 books. We've developed a discipleship curriculum and developed the Discipleship 101.tv, which is a website specifically designed. It's a free 2-year seminary level discipleship training program. We also developed the Leadership 101.tv website as well, to help people develop their leadership skills. And so in those 55 books that we've developed, part of that is the discipleship curriculum, the leadership curriculum. We've done a 4-volume commentary on Galatians, specifically from a Messianic Hebrew roots perspective. And all of these books, or at least a great majority of them, are available for free as an ebook download on our website, arthurbaileyministries.com. When I met you, I'd published the Sunday is Not the Sabbath book. And since then, we now have it translated in Spanish, in Russian, in Dutch, in Shona, Filipino, Urdu, and Vietnamese. And we're having people work on additional translations. Not to mention, we've planted 3 ministries outside the United States: House of Israel in Nigeria, House of Israel in Ukraine, and House of Israel in the United Kingdom. And our focus has really been to establish and develop leaders around the world, because we know, at least I see, that as more and more people, our eyes are being opened, they're going to be looking, and we want to have established congregations out there and people who know what they're supposed to be teaching available and accessible. We launched Hebrew Roots University. It's the first Hebrew Roots University of the faith, and it's at HebrewRootsUniversity.com. It's an accredited online university where we're offering associate's degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, as well as doctorate in ministry degrees. And so we've developed all of our own curriculum for that, so we don't have to try to adapt different curriculums that are out there for people. And we've developed TV programs broadcasting locally, as well as nationally, and in the Bahamas. And then we recently launched our Arthur Bailey Ministries app, which is a free download on our website. We've launched a podcast, which is also on our website. And my big focus is looking to leadership, training leaders, because I believe that there's a shortage that is out there. As some of you may know, a dear friend of mine, Brad Scott, which was one of those leaders, is no longer, with us. And, I believe that we really have to equip the saints. We have to prepare and equip this generation and the next generation. And my focus has been, because I didn't have a whole lot that I could access when I came in, then I would want people who are coming in to have access to good, credible material that they can study and really develop their faith and not fall into some of the pitfalls and traps that I fell in myself and so many others who have talked about that. And so that's what I see happening. That's what I see coming, as more and more people eyes are being opened to the truth. Then we want to make sure that they've got good, solid material, education and training and accredited credentialing, if that's something they so desire.
Wow, that's awesome. That is a lot. That's a lot of stuff.
Goodness gracious, you have been busy.
Yeah.
That's so encouraging to hear about these ministries getting planted around the world, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Good. I'm glad that you're doing that. I'm glad that all these people are trying to help disciple others.
Yeah, just, the Great Commission and like multiplying, and it's just so cool to hear. And again, Arthur Bailey Ministries, like the link is down in the description, and there are 2 giveaways that he has generously provided. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner for the Towe Sisters coloring book, and then also announce winners for the books that Arthur has written. So the winner of the Towe Sisters Towe portion coloring book is Tara Kent. Hey, that name sounds familiar. All right, so we'll email you, and Amy will get that Towe portions coloring book to you, and then let's go ahead and do the 2 books. The first being Sunday is Not the Sabbath, so we're going to pick a winner for that.
And these are Arthur Bailey's books.
Yes, these are by Arthur Bailey, and he's going to send you ebooks. And okay, here we go.
She's running it through the name picker.
Just building the suspense. Okay. Stephanie Busky. Stephanie
That
Busky.
sounds familiar too, actually, to me. But anyway.
So you've won Sunday is Not the Sabbath, which is awesome. And then now we're going to do the other book, which is called Religious Traps in the Messianic Faith. And so I'm just going to pull in all the names here.
I think that is another very important thing. And you talked about that in your interview back then. But that is, to me, that's part of this next 5 years, and how, man, I hope that people will avoid these. So I hope a lot of people will become familiar with this book and also with the traps.
And do you want to say who the winner is of Religious Traps in the Messianic Faith?
Candace Allgood.
Candace Allgood. All right, so Candace, you're the winner of that book. Congratulations. And next up, I think I saw someone who's actually become a friend of mine named Jess join into the Zoom call. And you guys might remember Jess in the way talking about just following after the Messiah and like her love for him. And she's awesome. Anyway, I met her through like the 119 fellowship finder map. I just got an email and then we became friends. And we still
That's when
are.
we were in Ventura.
Jess, are you there? Can you like unmute yourself?
Hey, yes, I'm here. Yes. Oh, goodness. Hey. Well,
Hey,
gosh,
tell
where
us
did-
what you've been up to.
Well, 5 years. So yeah, I met you guys in 2015, late 2015. And you guys, I don't know if you were just starting to make the documentary maybe. Yeah, but I just found you on the map. And then through you guys became connected to Jose and Shanina and then Jacob, right? And all this Southern California, kind of Ventura County, LA County, a lot of that crowd. So yeah, and you guys made it in 2016, right? And so after that, I stayed in Southern California until fall 2019. I've been working in agriculture, in the nursery industry. I was down there and still am up here in Oregon. I moved back to Oregon in fall 2019. Yep. And lived in Bend for a while. I have a really great fellowship there. It's called Living Torah Fellowship. My family is kind of the head of it, my stepbrothers and my foster dad there. It's a really great group if you're ever in Bend. And then I've been up near Portland, about a half an hour outside of Portland, still working in agriculture in the nursery industry. And, you know, it's been harder to find fellowship up here. I mean, Portland, and it's just one of the most secular places in the country, right? So there's a group about an hour away that I've been attending off and on, but yeah, it's been a little lonely, but good overall. And I miss you guys a lot, of course. But I'm doing well. I mean, Yahweh's blessed me so much since you guys made the documentary. I mean, lots of changes, miracles in my life. I have my stepmother who excommunicated my brother and I for 14 years. And she came up to me and apologized. Yeah, this was, just a few years ago. And we talk now after, 14 years, age 10 to 24, nothing. So that's been a big miracle that Yahweh has done in my life. And then also my biological brother has now come to see Torah too, which has been, took about 10 years or so for him to kind of consider it and kind of think about it and pray about it. And so that's been really great too. So that means that my stepbrothers and now my biological brother are like basically all keeping Torah. So it's really great. So I have a great life. I can't really complain. Yeah.
That is amazing. That is
That's
amazing,
so cool,
Jess.
Jess. Man, I didn't even know that actually, or part of that. Thank you so much for jumping on. Okay, that was awesome. We want to say hi to Brian Barnes real quick because we know, Brian, that you need to go help people become betrothed. So if you have a time to say hi real quick, and then if you can do any kind of update, that's fine. If not, you can just say hi and let people know where they can find you. Let's see. Brian, you still there?
Okay, well, it's so good to
there
see
he is.
everybody. Shalom. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Well, yes, for some of you who know her, announce it worldwide here, Catherine Leishman is getting betrothed. And so we're all very excited about that here in just a few minutes. So, but yeah, things have been amazing here on the farm. We're just working hard and seeing the Father move. You know, I've had daughters married, buildings go up, just a lot of things happening around here as the Father's been moving. You know, one of the things for the future that I see is we're about ready to break ground on the Brad Scott Library and Student Center here on the farm. As you know, we train young people in leadership through farming, and then our hope is to send them out. And so Carol Scott has agreed to donate his whole library, and we're building a student center around that. So we're very excited about that. In the next 5 years, one thing I'm very excited about is we're about to launch what we call GIT outposts, and that's farms located around the country, staffed by our graduate students to feed people and share the word of Elohim throughout the country, and then hopefully throughout the world after that. So very, very exciting stuff going on. But the thing that excites me most about the movement, if you will, we've been seeing a lot around here. The Holy Spirit, the Ruach, is just moving. We're seeing people get healed, being released from bondage, even our young people, you know, and to be honest, it's happening a lot with the young people. And I just see in the next 5 years, the Holy Spirit just taking this movement by the shoulders and the head and just pouring out the Spirit on all of us. And oh my goodness, it's been really amazing to see what he's doing. I can't even imagine what the next 5 years are going to be like. So I just want to say, everybody, hold on to your socks, because the Spirit is moving and he's got great things in store for all of us. So that's a quick update from the farm.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for sticking around to
Yes.
tell us that. And that, I love that. That's what I see too. The Spirit's moving. We got it. We have the truth. We have the truth. We got to have the Spirit. Totally agree, 100%.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I should also just say that your Sukkot over there at Arosi at Growing in Torah was the first one we ever had. And it just like blew our minds. It was the most fun week and everyone was wonderful. And it was just such a crazy memory that we'll always have. And you guys just hosted really super fun Sukkot. So,
Well,
and
we
we
do
filmed a lot on the
believe-
way there as well.
We
so.
do believe in rejoicing around here. That is for sure.
Yes, it was so great.
It was fun.
And yeah, a lot of the footage from the film came from like just different people that we met at that Sukkot. So that was really fun. Thank you, Brian, for hanging on.
And congratulations to
Shalom
Catherine.
all.
Yes.
See you, Brian. Okay, what's next, baby?
All right. Okay.
Another giveaway?
Yeah, let's do another one. Let's do another extended edition. Okay, here we go.
And Jess, we didn't get to say thank you to you, but thank you too. It's great to hear the update and everything.
So
Okay,
awesome. Okay.
she's doing her
All
name
right,
picker
getting
thing.
everybody's name in the name picker. Here we go.
Just do Command A. Okay, next time.
Okay. This is more tech savvy.
Chris Colleton.
Chris Colleton, you won an extended edition. Did we say your name right?
He can't tell us.
Oh, Matthew White said we pronounced his name correctly. That's awesome. I see that in the chat there.
Oh, that was the
Great.
first one I pronounced. Okay, anyway.
All right, so Chris, we're gonna get you an extended edition too. And let's see, who's up next?
James.
James.
Jacob James Adegoke is joining us from Africa, I believe.
We used to Shabbat with him in LA. His West African food is what helped me accept the Torah, actually. I was like, my people do this too. This is great. So James or Jacob, are you there?
You may have left.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here. I'm actually still.
Let's see your
I mean,
video. Can you turn
if
the
okay,
you
video?
can
I'm trying to
video.
get on the video. Where's the video? Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and come back in. Hold on, I'll come back.
Okay.
Well, we will. The next, should we go to Dr. Manzo because he's next?
Sure. And Paul was mentioning that there's prayer going on very shortly for someone who has COVID.
Brother
Bobo. Let's see.
Brother
Can you tell us,
Baruch
Paul,
Bobo.
about that?
Brother Baruch Bobo. He's the person that actually introduced me to the Torah, and he knows a lot of people in this movement. He's great friends with me and actually Brother Jacob James. And a couple of days ago, he ended up getting rushed to the hospital with COVID, and he was in intensive care, and he still is. So on Zoom, I'm going to have him from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock here Eastern time. I'm going to have a prayer meeting for this brother. He knows a lot of people in the movement. So thank you all for keeping
Is there
him in
any way
prayer.
you could? Do you mind sharing that in the YouTube chat, or maybe?
Yes, I did.
yeah,
I
share
posted
that
it on the side. I posted the Zoom link, the Zoom
Okay,
meeting.
thanks.
And
Yeah, if
this
you need to
man,
jump off,
he's
by all means, and thank you for being able to join us, Paul.
thank
And
you.
we'll
I
be
gotta go.
praying
Thank you,
too.
everybody. Thank you. Shalom.
All right. Awesome.
Okay,
So-
shalom.
Oh, James is back. All right, we're back
All
to
right.
you, James.
Okay. Yes. How are you? I am trying to make my flight. I have not gotten out to leave. Oh, look at that. How you guys doing? Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right. Some Orthodox Jews. I got my CTs on too, right? Okay. We are family. Okay. So, how are you guys? It's good to see you again. Can you guys hear me?
You're already cracking me up, James. Sorry, go ahead.
You went mute, James, you went mute.
Okay, so we've been trying to shalom. So we've been trying to maneuver getting out of here. I've been trying to get out of US since Wednesday, and finally I'm able to get out today. Everything just got settled because we're trying to maneuver around all this COVID stuff requirements. It's pretty hectic. So, but praise, yeah. You know what? I gotta go through security. TSA.
That's like a temperature.
Okay, they're taking my temperature.
Thanks.
Okay, all right.
Now I just have to
Am I
board pass
okay?
ready.
All right. So
Maybe we should let you get to it.
yeah, let me get through
Can you
security and
live
I'll call
stream
you
your
guys back, okay? All right.
Oh, no,
Sounds
we'll put you in.
There's always excitement with me, isn't there?
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'll be back.
I've only met James a couple times, but man, that man is always on the move. Am I right? Like every time I met him,
Literally.
he's doing something, and he's always across the country. Like like literally on the move. Like I'm on a flight, just like that was before. I seen him in DC, like talking about we need to pray for politicians and stuff. I was like, I don't know. I have no idea what James does for a living, but it's very interesting to me.
Yes, he's always moving. He'll probably tell us.
He just takes the party wherever he goes. Okay.
Well, he's in the financial sector, and now he's actually headed to Nigeria.
Okay. That's awesome.
So cool.
Well, I guess we should go to Dr. Alfonso Manzo III if he is there.
While he's getting on, we should just say that he is a very brilliant naturopathic and many other things doctor who has personally been really helpful to us and has a book coming out that I hope he tells us about.
He told me, I'll plug this. I kind of had eczema on my fingers, and I had nothing fixed it. I had it for years. And he told me, well, Luke, after doing this test on you, you're deficient in potassium, magnesium, and iodine. And I took those things and went away. So thank you.
Yeah, forever. It was great.
Yeah.
Hello, shalom. Well, you're okay. You do hear me. Great.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been, well, like we said, 5 years. So a lot has happened in 5 years. Starting with family, we have 2 kids now. So Josiah is almost 4. And then we have a little girl named Eden, and she's 1 year old. So that's what's going on the home front. Here in Ohio, things have continued to really grow, I would say, especially when the documentary first came out. We started seeing more and more people in the Ohio area getting into Torah. People were a little spread out here, though. So we've had some big groups, and the biggest problem you usually have out here is we outgrow a person's house. and you can't fit any more people in the house. So, and some people are driving, you know, an hour and a half. So it's split into more smaller groups. And so people are kind of all over the place in their own little pockets, trying to growing like crazy, you could say. As far as me, I have been nonstop in our practice. I probably see people from, well, around the entire world now. People can't be here physically. We can do DNA. And of course, everything I do is a little bit unique because it's all really biophysics. So it gets a little bit more into how the body works from an energetic perspective. And that always gets into really interesting topics because most people have no understanding of that, or they think it's either all pagan or all new age. And they don't realize that Yah has created everything and Satan is a great counterfeiter. So you have to know how to discern between the truth and the lie. And he loves putting those lies in there and the counterfeits to try to get people to run away from the truth. And but we have really continued to grow. The most was actually here during COVID because we never closed down, nor did we ever wear a mask. And I saw the writing on the wall very early, actually in 2019, because probably in the last 2 years, I've specialized in weaponized pathogens and nanotechnology, which is super advanced stuff. And it's actually all fallen angel technology. It started with the Nazis in World War II, and they were consulting with fallen angels with their super soldier project. And since then, they have basically been making diseases since World War II on us. So COVID's nothing new. And early in March of 2020, I still get letters from the medical board, even though they hate me out here, and I'm not allowed to call myself doctor. I forgot. Yeah, I'm not a doctor in Ohio because I'm a naturopath, and they don't license us. So I just have to say that say that now because they're all over me on that kind of stuff. But the good thing is they don't license me, so they can't really shut me down. I am licensed as a massage therapist, which has been before I had my doctorate, and I've always kept it up. So I got the newsletter from the Ohio Medical Board. It was probably late February, early March, where they sent out a newsletter and they said basically that on death certificates now, if anyone dies and you think they have COVID, you mark COVID, even if you haven't confirmed or tested it. And when I saw that, I knew, oh, this is nothing good. The only reason you would do that is if you want higher numbers of COVID to scare people. And that's exactly what they did. And so we never closed down, and we got extremely busy because of that. The Aleph Taw body work, which some people are familiar with, hopefully everyone's going to be familiar with it really soon. That is almost basically, the research is basically at an end, I could say. I mean, it never really ends, learning about the body and how the body is made up of the Hebrew letters themselves, and the Hebrew letters govern everything on the body, including your DNA. So the book is basically done. It's in the final edits. So hopefully that will be coming out early September. It's more of a textbook. It's about 428 pages. And it's all about how we have identified the Hebrew letters on the body, and that these Hebrew letter control points control every function of the body, including its shape, its form, the DNA, everything. And you can simply work on yourself by simply touching 2 points on your body, because your left hand is negative and your right hand's positive. So you basically use your hands like jumper cables. So I believe this is the original laying on of hands. And with my research in the book, we found that this ancient system came through Japan, and the Japanese told us that it was lost tribesmen who brought it to Japan, and they actually mentioned Moses. So I believe this was an ancient system of laying on of hands that got lost, and we are restoring it. So I'm really hoping this is going to be kind of end times medicine, and we're the future of what Yah is doing. I have conflictions on this because between, I would say 2012 to 2016, somewhere in there, we had an influx of a lot of teachers and self-proclaimed teachers, and a lot of them, I don't know if they should be teaching, but the movement's kind of in a turmoil. I think that there's a lot of weird stuff out there and a lot of arguments. But at the same time, there's more and more people coming in. In 2020, I had the most interesting conversations with people who actually still wanted to come into the office. I mean, people talking about things I'd never thought they would talk about in an appointment. And stuff with Towe would come up, and stuff with the satanic sacrifices and SRA and all kinds of weird stuff that's going on out there that people would never normally bring up in an appointment. They would bring up because they know I know a little bit about a lot of different things. And they're like, what about this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm familiar. And so a lot of people, a lot of Catholics and others really asking questions about Towe and what is your faith, you know, because a lot of people knew, but you know, you just, a lot of people didn't ask those kind of questions to doctors. Just like, you do this Jewish stuff, what really is it? But in 2020, we had a lot of people really asking it and saying, you know what, I don't know if I like my church anymore. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with our pastor and what's going on. What do you do? And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. So 2020 opened up a lot of eyes, but there's a lot of conspiracy stuff too that people get distracted on. And so I kind of see the future two ways. I think we're seeing more of an outpouring of the Spirit. I also think we're starting to see a separation of the sheep and goats, and there's really a separation of the wheats and tare. But at the same time, there's a whole new harvest of people coming in. And I don't know how that works. I think it works on an individual basis of where the person is and where the Ruach is leading them. But I'm hoping what we're going to see in the next 5 years is some return to unity and with the move of the Spirit, and maybe weeding out some of the tares to get people back together on the major issues that are important to life and faith, and what it really means to have a Towe lifestyle. Because that's the whole point of my book, is that Towe is our lifestyle. Without it, everything else is just a death style. And we need to return to his words, because his words are written on our bodies. And, you know, the blessing and the curse is actually built into the design of the body. So we want that lifestyle to have life here and now. And, but we also want the unity in the Spirit and good solid teachings flowing. So I'm hoping that's where the move of the Spirit and this movement, if we couldn't call it a movement, is headed, is that he's starting to bring people back a little bit more into unity and discernment. I think that's one of the big words we really need today is discernment. And that's always a tricky thing, because you need to know your scripture well to have spiritual maturity. And with spiritual maturity comes the spiritual discernment. And I think a lot of people rushed into the Towe thing coming out of who knows what. And a lot of times they weren't rooted in the scripture. They didn't, and you know, you start learning something new, so you don't know exactly what to do. And so I think people have been, you know, they kind of go down these rabbit trails of things that really aren't that important, and they get into these big debates and stuff. And I really I'm hoping that will kind of start evening out now, and we're start getting back to the real core ideas of the movement. So that's what I have to say for now. Hopefully you heard all that.
Yes, we heard everything. That's great.
Wow.
And I remember you were just starting to, I think, write the book or think about writing the book when we interviewed you. Or maybe it was just after that. But
yeah, I've been working on the book for over 5 years.
People are asking about it in the chat.
Oh wait, hold on. I have to ask something. Sorry, hold on. We don't have a speaker. What'd you say?
Yeah, I've been working on it for about 5 years. The Aleph Tav body research has been about 11 years. So it was probably in 2010. Let's see, I got into Towe between 2008, 2009. And because of Brad Scott and Jim Staley and a number of other men at the time, can't name everyone, but in 2010, I was already working with a system that I had learned. And that's when I realized, oh my, these points on the body are actually Hebrew letters, because the meaning of the points and what they control in the body have the same symbolic meaning of the pictographic letters in Hebrew. So once I realized that, then it was just a matter of the last 11 years testing, figuring out their operational frequency, their vibrational frequency, broadcasting frequencies, high and low, because it's an operating system of the body. So it's communicating and sending information throughout the body. And once I had all that mapped out and figuring out what their names were according to the body, which you can actually do that with biofeedback if you know what you're doing, mapping it all out and what systems each point controls and what they do. And yeah, it's been a lot of research. So I know people have been waiting forever on the book, but I had to iron out everything and make sure I didn't want to just give my opinion on what I think this system is, because that's what's been passed on for thousands of years. A lot of information is really new age. A lot of information was just made up. So I had to weed all that out, and everything's been verified and tested, and a lot of empirical studies working with people. But yeah, it's powerful, and it's basically there now.
That's awesome.
We're gonna go ahead and do a giveaway now for your upcoming book. So everybody, look down in the chat to where that link is to enter the giveaway. And I just want to say hi to some people who are writing in the chat. Amy S, Stephanie, Janice, hi guys. Hi David. David Sidebottom, that last name sounds familiar. Did we just see you in Indiana? I'm not sure. Kyle, Nathan Shaw. I saw there were people watching from Ireland, which is so cool. I think I lost your thing. Scott in Texas. I'm guessing you're in Texas. Just want to say hi to everybody and thank you guys so much for joining in.
And yeah, Scott, this will be available on here for forever.
Devlin Clan Channel. You guys are watching from Ireland. And also with the Huddlestons, I think I've been on your website or your blog before, probably just Facebook stalking you guys. So hi. Okay. Let's figure out who the winner is of Dr. Manzo's book that's coming out, which is very exciting. And that will be shipped to you at a future date whenever it's ready. Okay. Get him your info. All right. We're going to put in all the people's names real quick. And then I think Jose and Shanina, you guys are going to go next. So you just get ready. And then after we announce this winner, we'll have you go. Okay. Sorry. I didn't. All right, the winner of Dr. Manzo's book that is coming out, The Olive Taub Body System, is Kim Frazier. So congratulations. We'll send you an email, and then Dr. Manzo will get that book out to you once it's out.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Manzo, and everyone else who donated all these.
Yeah,
awesome
this is
prizes.
amazing. Okay, Jose, are you guys there still?
We are here. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Very well. Well,
you have the floor.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, this is Shanina, my wife. You all know, since the documentary, we continued with our home fellowship, as you all know, because you are part of that. Jess was a part of that. There were others who were part of that. And we continued meeting weekly, week in, week out, every Sabbath, celebrating the feast. But as you know, as other people have said, people moved to Arkansas, some moved to Oklahoma, they moved to Missouri, people moved to Tennessee. You guys moved to Ohio, Jess moved to Oregon, and it was just like people were always leaving our fellowship. And so even though we had a constant flow, somebody would move and another family would come in. Jess moved, Adrian came in. It was just really interesting that we stayed at a size of about 20, maybe 30 at the most, but it was always like 10 adults and 10 kids, or 15 adults and 15 kids. We were always having a lot of kids. And I think personally for our faith, what we did, and Dr. Manzo, this ties into what you said, sometimes we try to merge our existing beliefs with what Torah says or scripture says. So what we ended up doing was pretty much just deconstructing our faith and just to start from the ground up with a clean slate. And that was probably one of the best things that we could have done. In the fall of 2019, we were planning at Sukkot. A lot of you know Russ Jones, Bryce Jones. We were going to go up to the Central California mountains, and we were planning a Sukkot up there, a Feast of Tabernacles, actually. And that was the year that California was just ravaged by fires. And 2 days before the first day of Sukkot, we got a call from the camp and saying, we got to cancel your Sukkot. You can't get up here. There's no water. There's no electricity. There are fires all around. And we're like, what are we going to do? Well, there's a family that originally was from Texas, the Robinson family. They moved to Los Angeles, and they said, why don't you come to our home Fellowship in Cisco, Texas, and celebrate Sukkot with us. And 2 days later, we were in Sukkot at Assembly of Yahweh, and we have just absolutely just loved it. And you can actually check them out at hallelujah.org. 2 L's for the first hallelujah, and then YAH.org. And we just found this assembly there were probably at least 400 people or so there for that Sukkot. It's in Eastland County, Texas, and just absolutely fell in love with it. It's a place where we can use our gifts. I've been able to speak, do a little bit of music. Katie, I miss leading music with you, that we were able to do that. We were actually last year at Camp Counselors at Youth for Yahweh. They, along with other congregations, sponsor. You can find out Youth for Yahweh on Facebook. We're a bit tired. Our kids came back from camp Friday night, and we took kids to the airport really early this morning. There were about 120 kids who attended the Youth for Yahweh camp that takes place in Missouri, Camp Table Rock. So just a wonderful place. So we went back to California after that Sukkot, and then everyone knows what happened in 2020. COVID hits, right? And it was just, it was a struggle getting back with school shutting down. I'm in education. And just the way that things were going. And then when we started to open up again, between feeling convicted if this is where I needed to be. And then with the beginning of this year with the new administration, just seeing everything from BLM, critical race theory, things happening in the schools, I said, I felt really convicted of being part of the educational system in California. And you have to remember, California, they were saying, you can't meet in gatherings, you can't meet in private homes, you can't sing in worship services. I mean, they were just like putting down the hammer. We continue to meet. We kind of did a little bit like Daniel, when he says, hey, if you don't pray to this idol, we're going to come after you. We would open up the windows and sing, And so even our neighbors knew that they knew that we were meeting. But regardless of that, we started to think about moving, and is it time to move? And kind of like Miguel and others, I retired. I was very, very, very blessed to be able to retire from public education. And we moved to Texas, where we are now. And we're building a home on a lake. It's just absolutely beautiful. And also thinking, I guess in the second part of your question about the future of this, I think with the way the state of this nation is right now and where the world is, you got to create this community of strong believers. And actually at Assembly of Yahweh, that's where we met Jason and Amanda as well. And actually 3 weeks ago, Miguel, believe it or not, we ran into Jacob James in Cisco, Texas. He was visiting here about 3 weeks ago. But you're right, he does get around. But nonetheless, I think it's important to have this sense of community where you can depend on one another, because there might be a time where, we might not be able to go out, where we need to really depend upon each other. And the other thing I think as well is that we know believers who are now in their 5th generation. There's a great grandpa, there's the grandpa, the dad, and the kids. And I think it's important, like Dr. Manzo was saying, that people know how to defend their faith. And Luke, this goes to the book that you're writing. I don't want them to be like I was when I was a Catholic. Why do you do that? I don't know. We just do. And I don't want our kids, our grandkids, to say, why do you keep the Sabbath? Well, I don't know. We just do. Why do you call in the name of Yahweh instead of the Lord? I don't know. We just do. And so to be able to strengthen that generation so that they can give an answer to their faith. And just as a side note, and I'll close with this, with the Assembly of Yahweh in Cisco, Texas, I've never been to a place where the name of Yahweh has been so honored that it's not taken in vain, where it's just, in every song that's sung and the scriptures that are read, it's just a place where, his name abides. And we're just so blessed, to be here. So what do you want to say?
I agree with him.
And our kids love it as well. Our kids have had more of a social life in the 2 months that we've been here, than the last year and a half. So I don't know if you can see that or not. And kind of similar to what Jess said, we've had family members come to the faith. My mom came with us. She's keeping the faith and lives, we're building a guest home on the property with her. So, anything?
No, it was sad to say goodbye to our fellowship in California, but we felt in our heart that this was what Yahweh wanted us to do. So we cry as we drove off, but then we knew that this is where we're supposed to be, and that gave us peace, I think.
That's great.
Man, that's so cool.
It's hard to leave. It's hard
We
to
miss you
leave.
guys for sure. And also,
Yeah,
I
we
just want to
miss
say in the chat over here on YouTube, April Thomas said, my 3 teens just got home Friday night from that same camp. So somebody's watching who had kids over there with your kids, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Congratulations on the new house and everything.
Yes, we
all
got
that's
to come visit
happened.
you
That's
in
really
Texas.
cool.
And Luke and Katie,
yeah.
we'll know you'll get a lot of Sukkot invites, but hey, if you want to come to Assembly of Yahweh, they cap it at 500. So you better, I'll let you know when the signups begin.
That would be so fun, man. We need to have like a progressive Sukkot where we just like hop from thing to thing to thing, like a progressive dinner. All right, let's see. We have just a couple people left to share. Thank you guys so much for hanging on. This is like, I know it's a long thing. We want to hear from everybody and be able to like just touch base with everyone. And I saw that James or Jacob, sorry, I keep forgetting to call him James, just joined back in. Are you there? Are you like on a plane? Do you need to share really quick before you have to take off?
Yes, real quick. Shalom again. I'm just waiting for Ahmed to get here. He's traveling with me. Yes, going to Africa. Last time I was there was with Mr. Bailey. And he's been doing some amazing thing in Africa. I hope to visit the fellowship that he started out there. And yes, since I last saw you guys, there's been so much has happened. Our group is still going really strong and very well. And I see Stevie's here, who's just a wonderful person that, we reach out to every now and then. And then my mom, she is, I'll probably say a pillar now in the community. And you guys were there, you witnessed her, Katie. That happened with you. When my mom came into Torah, and then since then, my nephew came into Torah, but everything is still going well. And through the Way documentary, I've really gotten to meet a lot of people and through my travels and been able to, because my job provides me the opportunity to travel, but it's been wonderful. The movement is going strong. More people are coming in and just very excited about that. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. Please keep me in prayer. Going to Africa is such a difficult time, but I trust Abba is in control of everything.
That's awesome. Thank you, James. We will do it.
Thank you so much for joining from the airport. Have a good flight.
Okay, hi. I'm still waiting for one more guy to join. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's see who's next. Okay. Debbie, are you there? Debbie Bevan?
Yeah, I'm here.
As well, and she had such a powerful testimony, and it ended up being in the trailer of the film and also the movie itself, and we just loved getting to hear your story. So what have you been up to?
Well, first I have to give a shout out to Miguel and Michelle. Hi there. Miss you guys.
We miss you too, Debbie.
Well, Miguel and Michelle were actually instrumental in some news I'm going to share, and along with some other people, but I was bombarded with a lot of messages, text messages, or on Facebook of people that were really blessed by my testimony. And of course, the whole thing is really long, and I know it was going to get cut out because it was pretty long testimony, but people that know me and heard my full testimony will understand a lot of what I went through and how God brought me to this walk in 2011, 2012. And recently, a couple years ago, right before COVID hit real bad, I was out in Arkansas at a conference, and I had so many people come up to me and say, "Aren't you the one that was in the way?" And I would say, "Yeah." And they would say, "We've been praying for you." And they wanted to hear some news. So I have some news to share. Since then, my husband has started walking this walk with me. He would come to little functions with me over at Miguel and Michelle's. We had Passover and Hanukkah, and he would come. And then we went to another fellowship down in South San Diego, and he would go to that. And just little by little, bit by bit, he started coming around. And when he retired from work, one day, all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says, "I think I'm going to go to your Bible study." And my mouth dropped open. I said, "What, really?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to go with you." So he started going. and things just started opening his eyes, things that he hadn't seen before in the scripture. And all of a sudden he says, I'm not going to eat pork anymore. And I looked at him like, what? He says, no, I'm not going to eat pork anymore. And I think I'm going to do Passover from now on. And so all these things started changing little by little with him. And one day I asked him, what changed? What was the significant thing that changed and made you want to walk this walk? And he said, you, me, meaning me. He said, I watched you walk this walk for 8 years and how dedicated you were. And he said, I got curious and I wanted to find out what it was all about. And so it just like shocked me. And I was like in tears because I was not expecting it at all. Now it's still baby steps. He still has a lot of some Christian teachings that we've all had, in the Christian church. And, I praise God for the Christian church because they brought me to Yeshua, and now is, a different season in my life. And so my husband is now walking with me. None of my kids are. This whole COVID thing has been really rough on a lot of us here in California, San Diego. Miguel and Michelle moved away. A lot of people went to Northwest Arkansas. Several other people are going to Northwest Arkansas in a couple of weeks. Deborah Freeman is moving. A lot of people are moving out to Northwest Arkansas. So my heart, when I went to visit, my heart was there. I loved it there. I loved the people. I loved the fellowships. Steve was there, and Dr. Manzo was there. I got to meet him. And so I really enjoyed my time at the conference there. And I just fell in love with Arkansas. So I told my husband, I said, I think we should move to Arkansas. Well, he's not all for moving out of San Diego yet. So I'm still stuck here until the Lord moves him and moves us out. But things here in California is getting pretty, I would say Gestapo-ish here with our current administration here in San Diego and all over California. And I'm ready to move. I'm ready to get out. I want a strong fellowship to go to. And that's what I see happening in the future, is that I think we really need to band together with strong believers. I think, I can't remember who said that God was starting to separate the wheat and the tares. And I believe that's happening now. I think we get to see who's really planted for the Lord. And just so you know, Dr. Manzo, I am not taking the shot. I refuse to take the shot. And so I've got my feet firmly planted in that. My family thinks I'm crazy, but that's okay. I'm walking this walk. They're watching me, and maybe someday they'll come along. I don't know what's going to happen with us here in San Diego, but all our friends are moving away, so we may end up just being by ourselves watching you all on YouTube or something. Or Miguel, I've seen your lives before, and it's really nice to see you growing, and I love your congregation. I want to come and visit.
Do you like me growing my beard, or is it growing in my walk with the Lord? Which one is it, Debbie?
Both. You should see Ed. He looks like Santa Claus.
See, that's Debbie. We've been waiting a long time to hear this testimony about your husband, and I think that's probably the best news that I've heard all day, because Ed would come and Ed would ask questions, and me and Ed had we had a military background. It's great to talk about. He was always sweet. He was always patient. He was never argumentative. And you've been extremely patient the entire time, Debbie. And we prayed, and I know you've cried, and I know you've had your struggles. But even if you don't move, at least you're with your husband in the faith. And where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, there he is in the midst with you. So that's all you need, Debbie. Your prayer has been answered. We would love to see you, leave and go see what the Lord has to do next. But you have a lot to rejoice about, and just so glad to hear that news.
Well, thank you. It's been a rather exciting journey. As we all did when we first came into this walk, we had so many questions. He doesn't quite understand a lot of it, but like I said, it's baby steps. It's baby steps for all of us. And I think just the fact that he would come and you would talk to him, and he really enjoyed your conversations, that you would have. And I was shocked when he said, I think I'm not going to eat pork anymore, and I'm going to start eating biblically clean. It was like, wow, and he started wearing tzitzits. Before I left to go to the conference in Arkansas, he wanted me to make him some tzitzits. And I asked him, I said, okay, why do you want to wear them? And he says, because all the other men are wearing them. And I said, nope, that's not going to, I'm not going to make you any until you know why. So he started learning about wearing tzitzits. And when I got back from Arkansas, I gave him a present, and it was tzitzits that I had bought there that Scarlett had made for him. And so he's been wearing them every day. He wears his, and when he doesn't wear them, he's looking for them. Where's my tzitzits? So it's been a real blessing to see him come along, and he's asking questions. He's growing, and it's just been a real blessing to see that and see how God is working in our marriage. Even so much has happened. The struggles that I had gone through, and what happened and with us and stuff. And so it's just been a real blessing. And one thing I stopped doing is I stopped talking about things unless he asked me questions. And I would ask him, are you asking me because you really want to know, or are you asking me because you want to debate and argue? Because if you want to debate and argue, it's not up for discussion. And so he said, no, I really want to know. So I started talking to him, and he started asking more questions and then more questions. But I stopped really talking about it so much and letting my life show what I wanted, and what I believed in. And because of my strong belief, he came around. So for all those that are struggling with a wife or a husband or another family member that aren't walking this walk with you, and you're by yourself, hold on. It took 8 years, but hold on, it works. I'm telling you, God really honored my prayers, and he just has blessed me now with a husband that really wants to walk with God. And I just pray that he'll keep walking this walk with me and get stronger. And so I just praise God for that. And where I see this I don't want to call it a movement either, but I think it's just a move of Yah, is I see a lot of people that are, like you said, we have big congregations, and then they branch off, or other people move away. I think more people are coming in, a lot of young people, young moms and dads, young teenagers. These are our next generation that are coming up, and we need to prepare them, and we need strong leadership. And I agree with, I can't remember who it was that said it, but we need strong leadership. We're seeing a lack of that here in San Diego as well. And we've been praying, a lot of us in our fellowships have been praying for strong leadership to rise up and, take the I don't want to say the bull by the reins, but start standing up and being a leader, that we know that God can raise up leaders to help us, because there is a lot of weird things out there that is, going on, things that are being taught that probably aren't as biblical as we'd like to see. So my prayer for that is to raise up strong leaders. And I miss you, Katie and Luke, and Dr. Fonzo. I'm hoping to get out to Ohio to visit my son, and I definitely want to come and visit you. So thanks, everybody. I really appreciate everything. So that's about it. That was my news, was that my husband is walking this walk, and it's just been a blessing watching him grow.
Thank you
so
much. One of the most encouraging stories. I think that you encourage people a lot in the movie, just like seeing you, and you kind of your wrap up at the end where you talk about walking the walk alone, and now you're walking with him. That's crazy. Praise God. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Well, John Sherman, I guess we'll move on to the next. John Sherman could not make it, but he recorded a video. So I'll play the video, and yeah.
Yeah, then we'll do some more giveaways, and we still need to hear from Jason and Amanda Towe, and there are a few others who might be able to jump on. We know it's getting on along, so thanks for hanging with us. But yeah, we're gonna watch this video from John now.
Okay. It's gonna take me just a second to sort this out. Sorry.
Yeah, we got time. We got the gift of the Gentile Sabbath today. Do not have to work. So.
He says we have the gift of the Gentile Sabbath. Okay, showing my desktop. Hold on. Let's see.
Oh,
this.
I have never used.
I feel like I just.
This is really like watching an old man trying to get
John for 118.
encountering a new device. Okay, so here's John here, and we'll let him take it away. Tell me if you guys can't hear the computer
Yeah,
audio.
I'll watch the chat and make sure you can hear his audio.
No. Okay.
Okay, let's try again. Let's make sure the computer audio. Maybe when I take this headphones out.
Really is. How the heck did I manage to operate a camera? It's like, okay, so.
Let's try it again. Tell us if you
Shalom,
can.
everyone. My name is John Sherman. I'm with 119 Ministries. Wow, the 5-year anniversary of the Way documentary. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years since Luke and Katie reached out in producing that documentary. In some ways, so much has changed and so much hasn't as well. When Luke and Katie reached out, I'm like, who's Luke and Katie? I don't think I've met them before. And then I had the pleasure and privilege of meeting with them, and they are perhaps one of the nicest couples I've ever met. Certainly, if you have the opportunity to meet Luke and Katie, you won't be disappointed. They've done a great thing, I think, in the glory of Yahweh in producing the Way documentary. I'm probably speaking to a lot of people that know this already, but the Way documentary has touched a lot of people, my family included, people I know, and then people that just reach out to 119 Ministries and mention how that documentary has changed their life and changed the lives of people around them for the better, bringing them to Torah observance and leading them to people to help them understand the deeper aspects of the Bible, simplifying it in a lot of ways and just bringing it all to life. And Luke and Katie were a critical component of that through the effort of producing the Way documentary. So they recently reached out, as they did to several others who were part of that original documentary, to ask what has changed in the last 5 years. And wow, so much has changed. We have a lot of new fresh faces at 119 Ministries. We have Jared, David, Mark, Stu, Lisa. Steve is no longer with 119 Ministries. We do miss him. We do see him. I personally see him a lot at a Bible study that he attends in Bentonville, Arkansas. We are there every other week. So if you have a chance to check out ToweFamily.org, I would highly recommend it. That's a ministry that Steve started when he left 119 Ministries. He had a calling to do something just a little bit different and focus on the family, hence ToweFamily.org. And it's doing really well. It's doing a lot of great things, and we're glad to see that ministry now exists and doing what it's doing. And also there is a fantastic Bible study that's a part of that in Bentonville, as I already mentioned. So check it out if you like. I know a lot of people are craving fellowship. Our family was too, and we recently arrived in the Arkansas area and now attend that fellowship. So if you want to say hi to Steve, and I'd love to meet you as well. That'd be a great place to do that. 119 Ministries now has maybe 700 plus teachings in the teaching library, more than like we actually could tally and count at this point. It's a little ridiculous, but we're glad that these teachings are proving to be of value to those of you asking very specific questions out there and they're looking for answers. We now have the Hebrew language course. We have the 119 Ministries podcast, Pauline Paradox series, which is a series that a lot of people have enjoyed, is currently being remastered. We're trying to simplify Paul even more and present him even better. And there's even a book now available on Amazon. If you haven't seen that already, if you prefer book over video, that would be something you might be interested in checking out. Have you seen the Fellowship Finder lately? The amount of people hosting fellowships and wanting to connect with others, it's overwhelming. It's insane. If you have a chance to check that out, and if you're looking for fellowship, that's an excellent tool to look into. We offer a new teaching every week, and we're glad that we're still producing teachings, and probably about twice as much as we were 5 years ago. So Luke and Katie also asked, what does the next 5 years look like for his people? Don't know exactly. It's hard to know what the next 5 days will look like anymore, let alone the next 5 years. But whatever God has planned, I would like to see 119 Ministries to be a part of that, to serve in any way that we are needed, any way that brings glory to Him, any way that encourages people to love God and love each other. And I think that's one thing that 119 Ministries could actually do a little bit better, is we do a pretty good job at Torah-based apologetics. We're good at receiving questions and giving answers, and sometimes those answers are wrong and we have to fix that and do that and whatnot. But I think we could do a little bit better job of encouraging others to love each other, to build relationships, because whatever times that we're entering into in the next 5 years, I have my own personal thoughts on that. There's one thing that I would imagine is a certainty, whether my personal thoughts are right or wrong, is that we're going to need each other as far as relationship wise, even more so. We're going to be more dependent upon God. We're going to be less focused on distractions, and that's all going to be great things. And for us spiritually as a people, and it just might not be the easiest thing to go through. But I do think that whatever is occurring over the next 5 years, there will be an element of us recognizing how we really need each other and how we should really treat each other with respect and with kindness. And we'll probably be less interested in various pet doctrines. So those are all things that I would perhaps expect over the next 5 years. At any rate, it's just certainly a blessing to be a part of what Luke and Katie have organized here. I wish we could have been present live. It didn't work out, unfortunately, in that way. But keep 119 Ministries in your prayers. If we could just ask one thing, and keep each other in prayer. Pray that for those out there that are seeking to find answers in their faith, or just find faith in general. We need to all be there for those people, especially in the times that we're living in. So thank you, Luke and Katie, for the opportunity to talk a little bit, and blessing and shalom to all of you out there. And thank you for supporting 119 Ministries and being part of everything that we're trying to do, all to the glory of Yahweh. And blessings and shalom to all.
Okay, let's see. If
Are you back?
Are we back?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
back.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
It's unfortunate that he couldn't be here. I mean, I think
All right, we're
I
gonna
would
do
say-
some more giveaways.
No, go ahead, Miguel. Sorry.
No, I was just saying it's unfortunate because I just know that there's a lot of people that have been affected by 119's teachings. I mean, it just seems like they had a very broad scope. You know what I mean? Like really capitalizing on the ability to share the word online. I think it's quite like revolutionary. You know what I mean? I equate it to like probably what happened with the printing press. You know, people are able to start printing and just distributing information. And I think, you know, that ministry, that they've always been like, hey, if we're wrong, like we're going to fix it. But the scriptures tell us to reason with the scriptures. And they've always, that's what I've always loved and respected, you know, about them.
Yeah, I totally agree. And they wrote a great book called The Pauline Paradox, which is based on their video teachings. And they were kind enough to donate 20 of those.
Yeah.
So we're going to, I guess we'll give those away.
Yeah, we will. And before I do that, I'm just going to do another extended edition giveaway so that people have time to enter the Pauline Paradox book giveaway. So again, if you're joining us, look in the description of the YouTube video and at all the places where you can enter, and go ahead and enter the 119 Ministries book giveaway if you haven't already.
Yeah, you can do it now while Katie is
well, I give away another
fiddling around
extended edition.
with this extended edition thing.
Fiddling around.
So
Okay.
when John was talking, could you guys hear us in the background, like Mystery Science Theater 3000? I was wondering.
At first we heard you.
Oh,
but
you
then I
did?
don't think there was any commentary afterwards.
Did we?
I think
Yeah,
we
just
just
at first.
stopped talking. Finally.
Michelle's trying
Good,
to register right now. To win
Okay,
something
so
for free. It's like, don't pull a name yet.
Wait, where do you go?
He said, "Don't pull a name." All right,
No,
we'll
I'm
do the
not kidding. Go
extended
ahead,
one
go
and
ahead,
then
go ahead.
Pauline.
Yeah. So the winner of the next extended edition is Heather Hagland. Congratulations, Heather. We'll get your info and get you an extended edition. And let's see. Let's do another one. Caitlin Boyer. Hope I said your name right, Caitlin.
That's for extended edition.
So you will also win an extended edition, and hopefully that gave everybody enough time to enter the 119 Ministries giveaway. And this was going to be a doozy. There's going to be 20 winners, so you're going to have to bear with us while we read out all these names.
Refresh it one more time, maybe.
Yeah, just
Okay.
make sure you get all the new entries in here.
Are you guys entered yet, Miguel?
You got yours in?
It's
No,
going.
she's putting it in right
Hang on.
now.
Okay, you can.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, I see
Ah,
that one.
89.
I'm just
Okay.
going to wait for 2 more seconds.
It turned out.
Did you already say that Zach Bauer wanted to make it and wasn't able to?
No, I didn't.
Okay. He's traveling right now, but he says hi and shalom to everyone. And of course, there's so many amazing people in the movie that, you know, we
Some
just,
of them couldn't
yeah,
make it. The
can't make
schedules
it.
didn't
And,
work. Nathan Lawrence is, I don't know. We had an email problem with him. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll join
I hope
later.
he can
We'll
log
see.
in. He has an awesome ministry called Hoshana Rabbah, where he has tons of like really scholarly, detailed studies on all kinds of topics on his blog. And I think he's linked in the comments too,
Yeah.
or in the description.
It's
Okay.
super insightful stuff.
I see more responses are coming in, so I'm just gonna like stall for 2 seconds. And then after we do that, Jason and Amanda are gonna share. So you guys start getting your
Yeah, they've been patiently
I
waiting.
know, we're torturing
Sorry.
you.
We just saw them a week or so ago at this conference thing, which was fun. All right.
All right, I'm gonna.
Nice.
Every time I refresh, there are more. But okay, this is the cutoff. We're gonna select everybody here. Oh goodness. Thankful to randomnamepicker.com or whatever. All right, here we go. 20 of you are going to get copies of the Pauline Paradox. Let's see.
I'll just narrate what she's doing. She's slowly copying and now pasting their names over.
Sorry. Okay, here we go.
Okay, now there's 20. It drew 20 names.
All right, we're gonna read these off. Do you want to read them?
Yeah, sure.
Ignore the comments. It's just the first and last.
I'm gonna go ahead. Autumn Howard, Clara Schoonover, butchered that. Cami Bear, who we know. Carrie
Cami.
Williams.
Carrie Williams,
I think we know. Jocelyn Johnson, Janice Stevens, Amanda Dixon, we know. Cynthia Pemberton, Taylor Richards, Caleb
Land of
Key,
Honey Block. Okay.
Mike Potts, Christine Nordstrom, Tim Harper, Cindy Albright, Amanda Freeman, Karis Colton, Heather King, Jennifer Sidebottom, Brett Williams, Ryan Page Howard.
Ryan and Paige Howard.
Dang, I'm sorry, Michaela. But you know, it's
it's
maybe
random.
she
What
picked
can
it
you
too
do?
soon.
It's truly random.
Now
I'm so
she's gonna have
sorry.
to make me support them by buying a book.
Yeah, you can get on their website on Amazon.
It's $5. It's $5. It's so worth it. This is a book where I told everyone in our Shabbat group, you gotta buy it. It's or you can get it 99 cents on Kindle or like for free on Kindle with some trial thing. But it's worth it.
And we read those names really quickly, so don't worry if you missed it. We will send you an email letting you know that you won, and you get a copy of this book. And now, let's see. I think we might be on to our final sharers, and Jason and Amanda also ended the whole movie too, so maybe this is fitting. They're going to tell us what they've been up to and what they see coming next. You guys there?
Yes, we're here. Can you hear us?
Hey. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. Man, it's really awesome to see some familiar faces again, and the Way documentary was really instrumental in allowing us to meet many really interesting people. And man, it's been a wild ride the last 5 years. We kind of let you know what's happened since then. Of course, when we kind of jumped the boat from what many would consider mainstream, we couldn't buy a friend. We had a hard time with that, but some amazing things happened. You know, we prayed that the Father would let us be involved in something he was doing, and the very next thing happened. You know, I ended up on a wild conversation with Luke on the phone that led to an interview that led to the movie, and it's been very interesting. So kind of to fast track what's happened, there's a lot that's happened in the last 5 years, but kind of fast tracking what took place in a short story was the Way documentary come out. It went viral. We have received some of the same feedback that many of the others have already testified to. We received, you know, hundreds and probably couple, maybe even a couple thousand emails and messages about how the documentary had affected their lives and how it was instrumental in bringing either themselves or a family member into the faith, into this particular walk. And it was really amazing. But the Way documentary made its way into a congregation setting that played it live during one of their assembly meetings on a Sabbath, and it touched that congregation and a particular family that reached out to us personally, invited us into their home. We'd never met them before, didn't know who they were, never heard of them before. And like I said, I'm fast tracking. There's so much that I can tell, and so many intricate details to the story that would take a long time to tell. But again, fast tracking the story is over a dinner table. I was asked, "What is your vision that you feel like that Yahweh has given you for your ministry?" And I just kind of laid it all out on the table and said, "This is my vision." And the response was, "Wow, that sounds pretty interesting and particular in your vision." And to make a long story short, the next thing that happened, we received a very, very generous love donation to our ministry. And we've been in the process and been in the workings over the last 2.5 years. Matter of fact, I just got a reminder on Facebook of a memory shared marking the 3-year mark that we began a project on our new ministry assembly. That was a total Yahweh thing. It's totally paid for, amazing. And we just moved into it and started having services there on Shabbat and keeping the feast there at Passover this year. And we're super excited to announce we have a new ministry facility located on a little over 30 acres. We have 14,000 square foot facility. We have our first guest coming in to stay. We kind of coined it after an old term I used to hear when I was a kid. We built what they used to call a prophet's chamber in the upper level. It's like a place for guest speakers or guests that are visiting our assembly, and a place for them to stay. It's like a extended hotel, kind of an apartment kind of thing, so that they can stay on site. So I'll kind of put the plug in now that we would like to, personally invite every one of you that have been on here today to come and stay, 3 or 4 days on us. Come and stay at the assembly, visit with us, experience and fellowship with us on Shabbat. We'd love to have you here in the. I know that there's a lot of people moving to northern Arkansas, but we have beautiful mountains here in the Appalachian Mountains of North Georgia too. So you can come and visit us here. We'd love to have you. It won't cost you a dime. Just come and check us out. Like I said, we'd love to have, some of you guys who had an opportunity to meet face to face. Jose mentioned we actually celebrated Sukkot with him a couple of years ago in Texas. Dr. Manzo was the first guy we actually met face to face. We found out he was passing through, was in the Atlanta area. So Amanda and I jump in the car and we drive down and pick him up at the Atlanta airport. And I got to hear him tell so much information about the Olive Top body, and we were just blown away by the information. And he doesn't really know this yet. We haven't had a chance to talk about it, but Yahweh has kind of given me the vision that Dr. Manzo is going to come to a conference at our new assembly. He doesn't know that. Well, now he knows that, but so we're just plugging in to let him know that ahead of time now. So it's give you some forewarning. We'd love to invite, Dr. Manzo to come and stay again on an off weekend. Mr. Bailey, we'd love to have you. Debbie, it's amazing to hear the story about your husband, because that's what it's about. It was amazing. Miguel, you guys, you and your wife are welcome to come. Jesse, we removed. Steve, we had an opportunity to spend a 4th of July with Steve and been up in Branson, Missouri. After he moved to Bentonville, we've had an opportunity. John Sherman has been to visit us here, but again, we'd love to open the door to any of you guys to come and stay in our new facility. We're getting it prepped. Actually, when we finish this interview, we're going to finish the final preparations for our first guests that are going to be coming and staying this week. So we're excited about that. But that's kind of the fast track of what's going on. We added like 4 more kids to our family. We have biological children, and we are a licensed foster family, and we foster to adopt, and so a lot of things have happened and transpired.
We've adopted twin 4-year-olds, and we're in the process of adopting our little boy that we've had since he was 4 weeks old. He will be 2 on the 19th of this month. And then we just recently got a new placement, little girl. She was 9 days old. She was born on July the 12th. So who knows what Yahweh has in store for that, but we're going to love her and take care of her while she's with us. So
yeah, so we're pretty excited about that. Of course, if any of you have noticed the fact that I've looked away and kind of yawned a few times, because it's really, really busy around our house and we have a lot of kids to chase after. But
our oldest is getting married November the 21st. So yeah, so we've got a wedding we're planning.
Yeah, so we're excited about all that. But again, so to kind of respond to the question that you guys had, what do we see in the next 5 years? The next 5 years, I think that it's going to be a very cool time to live in. I agree with many things that have been said. You know, we had this rash of a lot of bad things, bad teachings that come out, and I think what we're seeing now, what I feel like I've experienced personally, is people are realizing now that coming to this walk how would I word this? You know, we talk about, we carry the Bible, which is referred to as the sword, you know, but many of us, when we came to this walk, we used it like a battle axe. We came in swinging and instead of trying to use it as a book that brings life, we tried to use it as a battle axe, and we were going around and trying to lop off heads of people everywhere we went, and we caused more damage to the kingdom than we did good. And now I think we're seeing people beginning to calm down. We're beginning to see that separation, you know, if you will, that's been referred to as wheat and the tares, or the sheep and the goats. And so we're excited about what's going to happen in the next 5 years, seeing unity become more of a norm. You know, I think that it's important that we begin to use the word as living water, rather than that battle axe. And so it's very crucial. I'm very excited. I'm jealous about all the giveaways, many books. I learned about a lot of things. You know, Mr. Bailey, I want to get a couple of books. He's not that far away, being in Charlotte. You're only about 5 hours from us. We'd love to have you come visit and maybe speak to our congregation. Dr. Manzo, like I said, he's coming to do a seminar. He just now found that out, so we're excited about that. And again, invite any of you guys to come and visit with us anytime you'd like to come. But anything else you want to add, or anything else you want to know, let us know.
I can't think of anything else.
I guess you covered everything. I don't know if you can hear me all right. I hate to keep playing the stupid mic. I guess I just want to say thank you to you and everyone else who's joined, because I mean, we wouldn't have made a movie if we didn't have people in it. You guys, you guys did it all. You made it all. And thank you so much. Praise Yah for everything he did. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yes, and also again, like, I know it's been a long time, but thank you to everyone who contributed to the Kickstarter campaign to make this movie, because that really like
made it.
It opened it up and allowed us to finish the project and introduce us to new people that we hadn't met yet, and stories ended up being really important for the film. And I just want to say hi again. Help people in the comments. I see it's so cool. People are like, where do you live? Like, what fellowship do you go to? I see people connecting in the comments, like Christine Pemberton and Stephanie and Ryan Page, Jay, Chris, Lantern Media Ministry. It's just cool to see you guys all talking and connecting, and it's fun that so many people from the movie have become friends, which is awesome. So we wanted to get Nathan Lawrence on here, but we just had trouble getting him the Zoom link and information. So you should check out his ministry in their description. But we have one last giveaway to do, and somebody's getting 10 copies of The Way. You can just, chuck them out your window at houses as you drive through your neighborhood, or however you want to like give these away or give them away to friends or whatever. But let's just do this last giveaway. Yeah.
Oh, I almost forgot one thing that I started to say. One thing that's happened too, I've had a desire to do for a long time that I've finally stepped out to do is hopefully Mr. Bailey can appreciate this, but I've had a desire to higher my education, and I've had a desire to go toward a doctorate, in biblical languages. And I actually just began that journey. So keep me in prayer that I can keep my grades up.
Oh, you'll do fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Dr. Bailey. He's a doctor too.
Right when you think you're doing it, right when you think that your plate is full in life, you have to have Jason Towe say that he has like 19 adopted children and a fellowship, and he's like, "Oh, I'm also gonna go get my doctorate's degree," and I'm sitting over here like, I think I have poor time management or something like that.
No, it's just some of us Yahweh didn't install any quitting sense in any of it.
Yeah, Jason, Amanda, you guys have a lot going on, and you're still so like chill and fun all the time. I'm like, wow, always with the baby strapped on, just like orchestrating everything. Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
it's funny though. We feel ourselves kind of slowing down a little bit because, the Torah says if you live to be, 4 you're blessed. And I'm 44 now, so I'm half dead now, so I'm slowing down a little bit.
That is so funny.
I think you're doing all right.
So
right.
Katie and Luke, I know you guys are about to do another giveaway, but I got a question kind of for everyone. I don't know if you guys want to end it if people have to go. I have a question based on an assumption that's based on an observation, right? So my question is, did you notice or did you see that more people started attending these types of fellowships because they refused to shut down during COVID? I think you started to see, and I don't know, did you guys, like, I know most people I know, they're like, we're not closing down. We're not telling people they can't come to the house of the Lord. We're not telling them they can't pray. And if you did, I mean, no judgment there, but we saw a huge growth because there are those who say that they stand and they follow after Jesus and they stand on a foundation of faith and truth. Then all of a sudden the government wants to roll in, and then everybody's like, oh, I don't want to offend. I just want to close down. We saw a lot of growth. I don't know if anybody else did in their ministry as well.
I think a little, for us personally, I think a little bit. We have a small little group, it's just the house church
families,
thing.
Yeah.
But I think one of the dads came in because his church closed down. So
Yeah. Different groups did different things. Some people had people zooming in from other places anyway, or like doing live like calls and stuff. But it is interesting, and it's a different feel when you're like, meeting in a house or meeting in a small place or whatever, and you can kind of be still rolling.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's what it has to be.
Maybe some other people in the
Honestly, what the Constitution protects the right to assemble. So I don't know why everyone didn't do it. I won't say it's a lack of chutzpah, but Katie's tapping me. I better stop. Never mind. No comment.
There are considerations. I will say there are considerations.
No comment.
I don't want to say anything sweeping, of course, because people have stuff to think about. But
Katie always stops me from talking, which is good. But anyway, the giveaway.
All right. It's a good question. Talk about this in the YouTube comment and chat, and we'll look and see what everybody's like group did during this time. It's kind of interesting to see. Okay.
Well, she's picking this name. I don't know if Manzo wants to get into this or not, but I saw your question, Miguel. He said, Dr. Manzo, can you tell us about fulvic acid? And I don't know what that is or if we're opening a can of worms or not, but.
No, I was just joking. I know he's all into the health stuff, so.
Oh,
okay.
That's so funny. Okay. All right, I'm about to pick a winner here. The winner of 10 copies of The Way is April Thomas. I think I saw you writing in the chat, April.
Hey, that one was easy to pronounce.
Yeah, that was. So congratulations. And does anybody else who is on this Zoom call have anything that they want to say in closing before we wrap it up and kind of let everybody disperse?
Well, I want to say that I couldn't have found a better way to spend my Sunday afternoon. And kudos, Miguel, this Gentile Sabbath, as they like to call it. But it's such a your testimony, Debbie, it made me well up inside. I am so happy for you, for your husband. I mean, I'm doing cartwheels in the spirit. And so it's just been a wonderful time. And I just wanted to say that before we disjoin.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful hearing that update from Debbie. It's very, very cool. Right.
Anybody else want to say anything? Otherwise, we'll let everyone go eat or do whatever they need.
I have one thing to kind of say is how impactful that the documentary was on people. One of the comments that I got through an email or through Messenger on Facebook was a family who said that they had no one around them who believed the same that they did, and they felt so all alone. And so what they did was they put the documentary in every day.
Every Sabbath.
Every day.
Every day. Right?
Every day, she said she played the documentary just when she was doing her housework, whatever she was doing. So she felt like she had believers amongst her, and it made her feel at home. So I thought that was it touched me.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how y'all did everything with the documentary, but he did. And, as you can see, my technical prowess does not seem to be extreme. It's pretty lacking. But anyway, if he wants to use us in any way, our prayer is always that he will. And so we'll see what happens. I think the book will come out at some point. But
cool.
unless he like causes me to stab my other hand through, that'll slow things down a little bit. We'll see.
So Luke and Katie, I do have a question for you, right? It's been 5 years. What's it going to take to get the documentary on Amazon Prime or Netflix? I know you guys have worked really hard in the past, but I mean, I see a lot of garbage documentaries on Prime Video. And I'm serious, like they're low quality, put together terribly. And I'm like, I can't even watch this. I'm interested in the subject, but I can't even watch it. And the testimony about the way you put together the documentary is that if you know about this movement, the documentary makes so much sense. If you know nothing about the way, it's extremely interesting, and it presents both or multiple views on the subject, right? And if you're against it, right, then it still provides an objective testimony of people whose lives are changed by Jesus. And it's like, that's the beauty of it. And I'm like, what's it going to take to get it on some kind? I mean, like, TV is all streaming service now, right? And we have it on YouTube. I know you guys made the documentary, available for free to watch before as well on different occasions. And it's like, man, if that's something that you guys still want to do, tell us how we can help, and we can pray for y'all, because it's 5 years later, but the message is stronger now, than it was probably back then. And you have more people that are finding like comfort and identity, in Yeshua, their Messiah, than ever before. So,
yeah, that's a great question. So we tried to get it on Netflix, and we even got this like aggregator service or people, and that did not work. Either they didn't accept it or the aggregator refused to pitch it, basically, is what I think happened. Yeah. However, I have uploaded everything, all these files to Amazon, and I keep running into some error after another, but I'll try to overcome those and get that thing on Amazon. Yeah. So that's the next thing. I just haven't closed the loop. I will try to close the loop on that.
For sure. And we actually did a thing where we donated the way to our local library. I don't know if you guys know about this, but we were having a bit of a thing. It's still live on our site. I should just tell everyone now. If you buy one copy of The Way, we'll send you an extra one, and like these sheets that you can give to your librarian. Because basically, like, a good way to get into the library system is just to donate them something. They can decide, we want to put this on the shelf, and now everybody in your community, any friends of yours, can go check it out too. So it's like another way to have a physical copy like in your area for people just to find. And I did a test here where we live at our library, and now it's on the shelf and searchable in the catalog and all that stuff. So
the nice thing is Katie submitted the film way back when we released it to like some library review journal that all the librarians read for recommendations. And so they reviewed it really well, and that I think carries some weight if anyone is trying to get it in their local library. Yeah. Which I like, because it's another grassroots thing, but
and it's like a easy way to do it right where you live too.
Yeah.
And then we'll work on the digital stuff in the meantime.
Yes. Good idea.
I have to say thank you to everybody in the movie. Luke and Katie, you were going to a fellowship near my hometown in Simi Valley when you were there in Moore Park. And I think we had that in common. When you told me that, I said, oh, that's near my hometown, and I wasn't even going to give my testimony, but as we were praying and you were interviewing other people, I just kept hearing God tell me, go, tell them, go. And I said, no, God, I don't want to be on camera. And I kept hearing, go. So So I did, and I was so blessed to hear how many people were blessed just by that little portion that I had, said in the movie. And then meeting all you all, I've met some of you in person, and I hope to meet more of you in person in the future. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who gave their testimony. And this project has been y'all led from the beginning. And it was just awesome to see how God put it all together. And, here we are 5 years later, and we're still going strong. And I'm just really, in the times that are coming now, more and more, and I even posted in our chat that we may end up meeting underground. And I told my husband, I said, look, if I get arrested for not taking the shot or whatever happens, and I get put in some kind of a camp, I'm not going to take it. I don't care. It's a hill I'm willing to die on, and I'm not going to do it. And my family thinks I'm nuts, but I don't care. My feet are firmly planted with Yah, and I know that he'll take care of me. And if I end up in one of those camps, I know that you all will be with me too.
Of course.
It may get that bad, at least here in California. I don't know about where you all are, but here in California, it's getting pretty bad.
I was like, if you're underground, dig a hole to Texas or Missouri or Georgia, North Carolina. We'll take care of you.
Oh, thanks. I'll need that.
Hopefully not.
I hope it doesn't get to that point. But, I don't know. With our governor is getting ready to be recalled. And if we get a new governor, I'm hoping things will change here in California. But as it stands right now, if I get corralled up and get put in one of those re-education camps, I don't care. I told my husband, I'll go to the guillotine. I'm not taking it.
Oh my goodness.
But, you just never know what's going to happen. And I pray that we're all strong and in the faith, strong enough to withstand what's coming. And you all have blessed me so much that to see you all going strong. And at least I know I have family out there that I can go to if I have to. My son lives in Ohio, not far from Dr. Manzo. I'm not sure how far he is from you, Katie and Luke. He's in Akron. And I have friends that have just moved to Arkansas and South Missouri. And so I've got places I can go if I need to, Texas, Idaho. So I told my husband, let's go on a road trip.
Debbie, in the comments, everyone is inviting you to come to where they live. Go back and read them later. You can have a whole road trip where you just go visit all these new friends. But everyone's like, come to my house, come to my house, come to my house.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing that we're connected.
Yeah, we talked about this, Debbie. I was like, you have a house in San Diego. You could sell that house. You could buy a Class A motorhome. You know what I mean? You could just live on the run with all your friends and the rest of the country. We'll house you and take care of you.
I'm so glad to hear that. I know, Miguel. I keep telling Ed, we need to go on a road trip. I want to go. He says, well, where do you want to go? And I said, Texas, Arkansas, Ohio, Georgia. I want to go see Jason and Amanda.
Yeah, phase two of our project, phase two of our ministry is to put an RV campground in the back for like Feast of Tabernacles. So yeah, you can come and hook up your RV and hang out with us. And I'm serious when I said I wanted to invite all you guys to come and stay. That wasn't a joke. I was dead serious. I want you guys to really consider that. Just touch base with us, look us up. You can look us up, pursuingtruthministries.com. Just find us somehow. Luke's got my number, whatever. But look us up and let us know if you want to come visit. Like I said, come stay a few days on us. And like I said, we have a neat place in the upstairs of our assembly, all to yourself. You're sitting on 30 acres and you guys can hang out and fellowship with us, and we'll go do something fun like fishing or something fun that we do in the mountains of North Georgia.
That sounds awesome. I will probably take you up on that at some point. Just so you know. But anyway.
the next reunion, maybe you'll be live. Guys, thank you so much to everyone for joining. I know it's like a couple hours after we started, and this has been so fun just to hear from everyone. And congratulations to everyone who won a giveaway prize. Again, we'll email you what you got and then get your information to get those things out to you. Thank you, all of you guys who were in the movie, everyone who gave to make it happen. And have a good rest of your day. We hope to see you guys in some way soon, all of you, whether it's on Facebook or in person somewhere.
Yeah, be encouraged. Be encouraged as you move forward in your walk. I'm encouraged.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
I got a request.
Shalom, shalom.
I got a request. Can Arthur Bailey close us out in some prayer?
Oh, that's a great idea.
That would be great. If he's still there.
Father, I thank you so much for this time that you have given us to fellowship one with another and with those who have tuned in to the fellowship. You've heard the things that have been occurring in the lives of your people and the insight that they have concerning what is to come. I pray your divine protection over your people. I ask, Father, that you will lead them and guide them, that you will cause them to be in tune with your voice. Father, those concerns about leveling out and wheat and tare, we know that all this is in your control. You see the souls that are coming, you know the ends from their beginning, and I pray for your continual blessings and protection. I thank you for the body of Messiah and what you're doing in the earth. Help us to be faithful in each of our work, each and every day, and then protect those. You see the circumstances in California and around the nation as well as around the world. But we know, Father, that this gospel of the kingdom must go forth and then the end will come. Help us to be faithful in that. And so I pray your blessings upon each of us, upon each family, upon each person. May you cause your face to shine upon them and be gracious to them and give them your peace. Father, bless them and keep them, each and every one, in Messiah Yeshua. Amen.
Amen.
Amen,
Right,
brother. Thank you.
Blessings to all of you.
Blessings
Thank
to you
so
too.
much.
Thank
Good,
you.
Miguel. That was a perfect way to end it. We'll see you guys all soon. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Bye,
Shalom,
bye.
shalom.
Shalom.